In today's world, our homes are often seen as sanctuaries, places where we seek comfort, peace, and safety. But what happens when the place you should feel most secure starts to feel off? What if the atmosphere in your home shifts and strange, unsettling things begin to happen? This is not something to be dismissed lightly, as there are often spiritual forces at play that can affect the very environment we live in. One of the most disturbing possibilities is the presence of demons, and sometimes their influence can manifest in ways that are not immediately obvious. While many people are familiar with the idea of demonic possession or haunting in movies, the reality of such encounters can be far more subtle, yet just as dangerous. Throughout the centuries, people have reported various signs and experiences that suggest the presence of these malevolent spirits in their homes. From unexplained noises to objects moving on their own, the signs can often be confusing and frightening. But what if these occurrences are not random? What if they are messages or warnings from the spiritual realm? What if demons are trying to infiltrate your life and cause chaos, even in your most private spaces? It's important to recognize the signs early and understand their meaning. Many people dismiss these incidents as coincidences or mere imagination, but there is a deeper spiritual reality at play that we must be aware of. In this video, we are going to uncover 8 hidden signs that demons may be present in your home. These signs can range from subtle feelings of unease to more obvious manifestations of dark energy. Each sign has its own unique characteristics, but they all share a common thread: the presence of something unclean and unnatural. As you watch, you may start to recognize these signs in your own environment, or perhaps you have already experienced some of them without fully understanding what they meant. Stay with us until the end of this video as we dive deep into these signs and explain their spiritual significance. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how to recognize these hidden dangers, and more importantly, how to protect yourself and your loved ones from their influence. The battle between light and darkness is real, and knowing how to identify and deal with the forces that seek to harm us is crucial. We want to arm you with the knowledge and the tools you need to safeguard your home and your peace of mind. So, if you've ever felt uneasy or experienced strange happenings in your home, don't miss this opportunity to uncover the truth. Keep watching, because the signs you need to know about are just around the corner. Let's explore together how to detect these hidden dangers, and more importantly, how to protect yourself from them. You won't want to miss a single word of this vital message. 1. Inexplicable noise or strange sounds. There are many phenomena that can make us feel uneasy in our own homes, but one of the most unsettling is the presence of inexplicable noises. These strange sounds can vary, from footsteps when no one is around to doors creaking open by themselves. Sometimes, these sounds are so vivid and real that it's hard to believe they aren't happening right in front of you. Imagine being alone in your living room, only to hear the distinct sound of someone walking down the hallway behind you. You turn around, and no one is there. Or perhaps you hear knocking or tapping on the walls, followed by an eerie silence. These unexplained noises are often one of the clearest signs that something otherworldly is at work. For many people, these noises are the first indication that something may be wrong in their homes. At first, you might brush them off, thinking it's the house settling or perhaps an animal making noise in the walls. But as the noises continue or become more frequent, it's impossible to ignore the possibility that there is something else going on. These sounds aren't just random. They often have a pattern, or they occur at certain times, making them feel deliberate in a way that simple, natural causes can't explain. It's as if something unseen is trying to get your attention. In many cases, the noises are not just isolated incidents but may repeat over time. People have reported hearing footsteps, knocks, bangs, and even whispers coming from parts of their house where no one is present. Some individuals have experienced what seems to be doors opening or closing on their own. These sounds often occur at night when the house is quiet and still, and they can be particularly terrifying because they disrupt the peace of your sanctuary. The mind can play tricks, especially in the dark, but when these events happen repeatedly, it starts to become difficult to dismiss them as mere imagination. From a spiritual perspective, these unexplained sounds can be a sign of demonic activity in the home. According to many religious beliefs, demons are known to make their presence felt through disturbing and unnatural noises. They are often described as seeking to create fear and discomfort in order to influence the atmosphere of the home and the minds of the people living there. In some traditions, these sounds are seen as a form of communication or a warning. The demon may be attempting to cause distress, provoke fear, or simply announce its presence in a way that shakes your sense of peace and security. One common occurrence is hearing voices that are too faint to fully understand, but seem to whisper in the background. Some have reported hearing their names being called, only to turn around and find no one there. These whispers can be extremely unsettling because they tap into a primal fear of being watched or followed. It's as though the demon is trying to speak directly to you, or perhaps it's trying to lure you into a sense of confusion. In other cases, some people hear laughter or conversations that seem out of place. This form of auditory disturbance can create a sense of isolation, as if you are the only one who can hear these disturbing noises. It can be difficult to explain such occurrences, especially when there is no logical reason for them to happen. Another manifestation of this phenomenon is the sound of knocking. Many cultures around the world associate knocking with the presence of spirits or otherworldly beings. In some cases, the knocking is rhythmic, almost as if it is trying to communicate a message. It may start with a few taps, and over time, the knocking may become louder or more frequent, always in places that are difficult to explain. Sometimes the knocks will seem to come from inside the walls, under the floorboards, or from a seemingly empty room. The unsettling nature of this noise can be enough to make anyone feel as though they are no longer in control of their environment. Some people also report hearing objects being moved around. You may hear the sound of a chair scraping against the floor, or glassware clinking together, even though nothing has been touched. This phenomenon can be especially disturbing because it seems like a tangible, physical event. When you check the room, everything may appear normal, but the sound lingers in your mind, reinforcing the idea that something unnatural is happening. This is often coupled with the feeling that you are not alone in the room, even if you are the only person present. Over time, these noises can have a psychological impact. The constant disruptions to the peace of your home can lead to anxiety, restlessness, and even sleep disturbances. People who experience these sounds regularly often report feeling a sense of dread or unease in certain areas of their home. They may begin to avoid certain rooms or parts of the house, trying to escape the unsettling atmosphere created by these noises. This can lead to feelings of isolation, as the home that was once a sanctuary becomes a source of fear and distress. There are various theories about why these noises occur. Some people believe that they are the result of natural causes, such as changes in temperature or the settling of the house. These explanations might make sense in certain situations, but they don't account for the eerie timing or the fact that these sounds can feel so intentional. For example, if you hear a loud bang from the kitchen when you're alone, it's hard to explain away as just the house creaking. The experience can leave you with a deep sense of unease, especially when it happens at night or in moments of silence when you are more aware of every little sound around you. Other explanations point to the possibility of electromagnetic fields in the home. Some researchers have suggested that disturbances in the electromagnetic field can cause people to experience strange sensations or hear unexplained sounds. While this theory may offer some scientific explanation, it does not account for the pattern and intentional nature of the noises reported by many people who feel they are being affected by demonic forces. The most unsettling aspect of these noises is their persistence. When you first experience them, They may seem like odd occurrences, but as they continue, you may begin to feel like something is not right. The nature of these sounds, whether they are footsteps, knocks, whispers, or objects moving, suggests that they are more than mere coincidence. They are manifestations of something trying to interact with the physical world, often in a way that induces fear or discomfort. If you begin to notice inexplicable sounds in your home, it is important not to ignore them. These noises could be a sign that something otherworldly is present, and it's crucial to take them seriously. While it's easy to dismiss strange sounds as nothing more than a product of an overactive imagination, the persistence and pattern of these noises should not be overlooked. Whether the source is natural or supernatural, it's always wise to seek spiritual guidance and take steps to protect yourself and your home. In the next sections of this video, we will explore other signs that could indicate the presence of dark forces in your home. But for now, if you've noticed strange noises, take a moment to reflect on the pattern. Are they random, or do they seem deliberate? What is the atmosphere like when these sounds occur? Trust your instincts, and don't let fear take control. There are steps you can take to protect your home and restore peace. But first, it's essential to recognize and understand these signs. 2. Presence of a cold sensation or heavy air. Another significant sign that may indicate the presence of something supernatural in your home is an inexplicable drop in temperature or a sensation of heavy air. Many individuals who experience what they believe to be spiritual disturbances often report feeling sudden chills or a cold breeze in areas where there is no apparent cause. This chilling sensation can be quite unnerving, particularly when it occurs in specific spots, such as a hallway, a particular room, or near an object or area that feels out of place. In some cases, this cold feeling is so intense that it feels as though the temperature in the room has drastically dropped, even though the rest of the house remains warm. This type of cold sensation is often accompanied by an eerie atmosphere. The air seems dense and hard to breathe, as if something oppressive is weighing down on the room. The sensation is not always constant, but can appear unexpectedly, sometimes when you are alone or during moments of quiet. People who experience this phenomenon commonly describe it as a presence, something invisible but undeniably there, making its mark in the environment. It's as if the very air itself shifts, becoming colder or heavier, and it becomes almost impossible to ignore the change. One possible explanation for this is the belief that spirits, or even demonic forces, manifest through temperature fluctuations. In various cultural and spiritual traditions, it is commonly believed that when a spirit, angel, or demon is nearby, it can cause a shift in the environment. This may be due to the energy they emit or the way they manipulate the atmosphere. Cold spots, specifically, are often associated with these types of phenomena. In some traditions, the sudden drop in temperature is thought to signify the presence of a spirit trying to communicate or manifest itself in the physical world. The feeling of a sudden cold presence is frequently reported in paranormal encounters. People often describe walking into a room and experiencing an immediate drop in temperature that feels disconnected from the rest of the environment. These sudden temperature changes, which occur seemingly out of nowhere, can make people feel uneasy and even frightened. The cold sensation may be localized, such as near a window or corner of a room, or it may feel more pervasive, as if the entire space is filled with a cold presence. The physical discomfort caused by these temperature drops can cause heightened anxiety, making the experience feel even more unsettling. In some cases, people may even observe that the cold sensation is accompanied by a heavy, oppressive feeling in the air. This is often described as an atmosphere that feels thick or suffocating, as if the air is charged with negative energy. It can be overwhelming, causing discomfort and a sense of unease that is hard to shake off. This oppressive feeling may lead to difficulty breathing, or it might cause people to feel lightheaded or dizzy, as though the very space is draining their energy. The sensation of heaviness can also lead to feelings of sadness anxiety, or fear. These feelings are often intensified by the presence of the cold, which makes the atmosphere feel even more tense and unwelcoming. One of the most perplexing aspects of this phenomenon is that the sensation of cold or heavy air often occurs without any logical explanation. The heating system may be working fine, and there are no open windows to explain the draft. Yet, the feeling of cold persists. This lack of a clear cause is what makes it particularly unsettling. It creates a sense that something is beyond the physical world, something inexplicable that doesn't conform to our understanding of reality. There are instances where people have reported feeling these cold sensations, even when the room is fully enclosed and sealed, with no visible signs of drafts or external temperature changes. In these cases, the cold might seem to come from within the room itself, or from a specific spot, like near a door or in a corner. Some individuals describe it as feeling a sudden chill on the back of their neck, as though something is standing behind them, watching them. This kind of sensation is often coupled with the sense that they are not alone. The combination of the cold and the oppressive atmosphere creates a profound sense of discomfort, making people feel vulnerable and exposed. In addition to the cold and heavy air, another common experience that accompanies these feelings is the sense of being watched. People may report feeling like someone is observing them from a distance, even though no one is physically present. This sensation can heighten the fear and unease caused by the cold, as it creates the feeling that an unseen force is near, perhaps even interacting with the environment. This feeling of being watched, combined with the chill in the air, can cause people to become more alert and anxious, especially when they are alone or in the dark. From a spiritual or supernatural perspective, many people believe that these temperature drops and heavy atmospheres are signs that a negative force or entity is present. Some spiritual traditions hold that demonic entities, in particular, are known to manifest through these physical sensations, as they are said to be able to manipulate the environment in order to induce fear or disrupt peace. This is thought to be a tactic used by these forces to cause discomfort, create tension, and exert control over the living space. The cold and heavy air is believed to be a manifestation of the negative energy they bring with them. In some belief systems, the temperature drops are seen as the manifestation of a spirit trying to communicate or interact with the living. Cold spots, in particular, are considered a sign that the entity is attempting to make its presence known. The sensation of cold could be the entity's way of trying to draw attention to itself, or it may be a sign that it is preparing to make a stronger appearance. Some people also believe that these cold sensations may indicate that the entity is trying to warn the living about something, or that it is in need of help or resolution. Interestingly, the presence of cold or heavy air isn't just associated with negative forces. In some cases, it is believed that the spirits of loved ones who have passed away may manifest through similar cold sensations. This is often seen as a sign that the spirit is trying to communicate or offer comfort to those still living. In these instances, the cold may not carry the same oppressive or fearful quality. Instead, it may feel more like a comforting presence, one that reassures the living that their loved ones are still around. Regardless of the cause, if you are experiencing unexplained cold sensations or a heavy atmosphere in your home, it is important to take note of the patterns and try to find a logical explanation. It could be related to temperature changes in the house, drafts, or other environmental factors. However, if these sensations occur without any reasonable explanation and seem to be tied to specific areas or moments, it may be worth considering the possibility that something more supernatural is at play. Taking steps to cleanse your home, whether through spiritual means like prayer or through physical measures like improving ventilation, can help restore peace and comfort. In any case, being mindful of the atmosphere in your home and paying attention to any unusual changes can provide valuable insight into what might be happening in your space. Third, appearance of shadows or silhouettes. The appearance of shadows or silhouettes is one of the most unsettling and mysterious phenomena that people often associate with supernatural or demonic activity in a home. These shadows are typically seen out of the corner of the eye, fleeting, and often appear in places where there should be no explanation for their existence. Many individuals who experience these encounters report seeing dark figures or human-like shapes that move quickly across walls or rooms, often vanishing before they can be fully perceived. These manifestations can be disturbing, leading to feelings of fear, confusion, and unease. In some cases, these shadows seem to have a life of their own, moving independently of any light sources or natural shadows that might explain their existence. Shadows are often connected with the idea of the unknown or the unseen. They represent something that is present but not entirely understood or revealed. When a shadow appears in a place it shouldn't, especially when it seems to behave in unnatural ways, it raises questions about the origin and purpose of that presence. People who report such experiences often describe these shadows as feeling ominous, as if they are aware of the observer, or even as though they are intentionally avoiding being fully seen. There is often a sense of malevolent energy associated with these shadows, one that stirs feelings of dread and anxiety. In many cultures and spiritual beliefs, the appearance of shadows or dark figures is often associated with demonic entities or malevolent spirits. These figures are thought to be manifestations of evil or dark energies that seek to disturb or influence the lives of the people they encounter. In some traditions, these figures are seen as harbingers of bad news or warning signs of an impending spiritual attack. The shadows are sometimes believed to be the physical manifestation of these dark forces, moving through the home as they attempt to create a more sinister atmosphere. The nature of these shadows can vary depending on the experience. Some individuals report seeing entire figures, with clear outlines of a person or creature moving swiftly across their line of sight. Others describe seeing only portions of these figures, such as the shadow of a hand, the outline of a face, or the silhouette of a body that disappears before they can fully identify it. These appearances can be extremely unsettling, especially when they occur in familiar places, such as in the corner of a room or along a hallway where no one else should be. There are also cases where these shadows seem to be more than just figments of the imagination. Some people have experienced these dark forms moving in such a way that they appear to respond to the environment or even the person's actions. For example, a shadow may appear to follow someone around the house, moving with them from room to room, or it might seem to retreat whenever the person approaches it. This sense of interaction makes these shadows feel even more real, and in many cases, it increases the fear and confusion of those who witness them. Theories about the cause of these shadows range from psychological to paranormal explanations. Some individuals believe that these shadows are simply the result of an overactive imagination or the brain's tendency to fill in the gaps of what we cannot fully see. The human mind is known to create patterns and images, especially in low-light conditions, and it's possible that the mind interprets everyday shadows or changes in lighting as figures or entities. This phenomenon is often referred to as pareidolia, where the brain sees familiar shapes or faces in random objects or shadows. However, many people who experience these shadows insist that they are more than just tricks of the mind. They claim that the shadows behave in unnatural ways, moving without the help of any visible light source or casting shadows in places where no objects should be present. Another explanation is rooted in the belief that these shadows are spiritual or demonic in nature. In this view, the appearance of shadows is seen as a form of spiritual manifestation, a way for spirits or entities to reveal their presence in the physical world. Many believe that negative energy or demons can influence the environment in a way that causes shadows to behave unusually. These shadows may be seen as a physical representation of dark forces attempting to exert control over a space or the people within it. In some cases, these shadows are thought to be more than just harmless specters. They are believed to be entities that can have a direct impact on the people they encounter. Some individuals report feeling physically drained, emotionally disturbed, or even ill after experiencing these shadows. There are stories of people who believe they have been followed by dark figures, or who feel the presence of something malevolent in their home, often after these shadows appear. The sensations that accompany these shadows can be just as unsettling as the figures themselves, with witnesses reporting feelings of coldness, fear, and anxiety in the presence of these dark forms. The psychological and emotional effects of seeing these shadows are also significant. People who experience shadow sightings often report feeling paranoid, anxious, and unable to shake the feeling that something is lurking nearby. The sense of unease can linger long after the encounter has ended, with individuals often struggling to sleep or feel comfortable in their own home. In some cases, these experiences may even lead to a desire to leave the home altogether, as people begin to feel that the space is unsafe or haunted by dark forces. The appearance of shadows in a home is not something that can be easily dismissed, especially for those who have experienced it firsthand. Whether these manifestations are the result of supernatural forces, psychological phenomena, or something else entirely, the experience can be profoundly unsettling. In many cases, people seek help from spiritual guides, paranormal investigators, or therapists to try and understand what is happening in their homes. Some may turn to prayers, rituals, or other spiritual practices to cleanse their space and protect themselves from the negative energies they feel are present. In conclusion, the appearance of shadows or silhouettes in the home is a powerful and mysterious sign that something may not be quite right. Whether these shadows are the result of supernatural forces, psychological effects, or environmental factors, they often leave people feeling disturbed and fearful. The presence of these dark figures can be an indication that there are unseen forces at work, forces that may seek to influence the home and its inhabitants in ways that are difficult to understand. While the exact cause of these shadows remains a subject of debate, their impact on those who experience them is undeniable, and they serve as a reminder that not everything in the world is as it seems. 4. Changes in behavior of the household members. One of the most unsettling signs that something supernatural or demonic may be affecting a home is the sudden and inexplicable change in the behavior of the people who live there. This shift in demeanor can manifest in various ways, from subtle shifts in mood to more drastic and noticeable changes in personality, habits, or emotional responses. These behavioral alterations can be so extreme that they cause concern not only for the affected individual, but also for the other people in the household. It is often said that a house or space is not just a physical structure, but it can also carry energy, good or bad, that can influence the people who live within it. If demonic or malevolent forces have entered a home, one of the first signs may be a dramatic shift in how the residents behave. When the energy in a house becomes negatively charged, it can affect the mental and emotional state of the people living there. A once peaceful home can quickly become a place of tension, fear, and constant unease. People might find themselves arguing more frequently, feeling irrationally angry, sad, or anxious. These emotional shifts can come with no clear reason or explanation, leading those involved to wonder what is causing these strange moods and behaviors. At first, these changes may be attributed to stress, exhaustion, or personal issues. However, when multiple individuals in the same home begin to experience similar shifts in their behavior, it becomes clear that something more than ordinary stress is at play. One common behavioral change in those affected by negative energies is a sense of heightened irritability or frustration. Individuals who were once calm and patient may suddenly find themselves easily annoyed by minor issues that they would have previously dismissed. The constant tension in the environment can cause people to snap at one another over insignificant things. This shift in mood can also lead to increased arguments, making communication within the household difficult and stressful. Over time, this emotional exhaustion can cause relationships to deteriorate, as the atmosphere in the home becomes more charged with negativity and hostility. Another noticeable change is the onset of deep feelings of sadness or depression without a clear cause. Those living in an environment affected by malevolent forces may feel a constant weight of despair or hopelessness that seems to come out of nowhere. Even individuals who were previously upbeat and positive can suddenly find themselves struggling with feelings of isolation, sadness, or even apathy toward things that used to bring them joy. This can be particularly disturbing because the individual may not understand why they are feeling this way, especially if they have no apparent reason for their emotional decline. Sometimes, these behavioral changes can extend to physical symptoms as well. People who are affected by negative or demonic forces may begin to experience unusual physical sensations such as fatigue, headaches, nausea, or even chronic pain. These symptoms often seem to appear without any medical explanation, and no amount of rest or treatment seems to alleviate them. The person may feel drained or as if their energy is being constantly sapped, which can further contribute to a sense of unease and discomfort in the home. This physical exhaustion can become overwhelming, making it even harder to cope with the emotional and psychological strain. In more extreme cases, individuals living in an environment tainted by demonic or malevolent energies may exhibit behaviors that are completely out of character for them. These behaviors may include sudden outbursts of aggression, violence, or even self-destructive tendencies. In some instances, people may act in ways that are not only alarming to those around them, but may also cause them to question their own sanity. Individuals who were once kind-hearted and compassionate may start to lash out or act in a way that seems to be driven by a force outside of themselves. This can be deeply troubling for both the person affected and their loved ones, as it becomes clear that something more powerful than the individual's own will is influencing their behavior. The change in behavior can also be accompanied by an increase in fear or paranoia. People in the home may feel like they are being watched or followed, even when they are alone. This sense of dread can grow to the point where individuals begin to avoid certain areas of the house or certain activities because they feel unsafe. This paranoia can create further isolation, as the affected individuals may begin to withdraw from others, both within the home and outside of it. They may feel as though no one understands what they are going through, and their fear may begin to consume them. Another troubling change in behavior that may be observed is a deep sense of spiritual confusion or doubt. People who have never questioned their beliefs may suddenly begin to feel disconnected from their faith, or they may start to experience a sense of spiritual emptiness. This can manifest as a loss of interest in religious or spiritual practices, a questioning of previously held beliefs, or even a complete abandonment of faith. In some cases, individuals may feel as though they are being pulled away from their spiritual grounding, as if some external force is influencing their thoughts and beliefs. This can lead to a deep internal struggle as the person grapples with these conflicting feelings. It is important to note that these behavioral changes are not always immediately attributed to demonic or supernatural causes. Often, the individuals experiencing them will try to rationalize what is happening, seeking medical or psychological explanations first. They may visit doctors, therapists, or counselors to address the physical and emotional symptoms they are experiencing. While these professionals can be helpful in diagnosing and treating mental health conditions or physical ailments, they may not be able to explain why multiple individuals in the same household are experiencing the same types of unexplained shifts in behavior. In many cases, these strange behavioral changes will continue until the root cause, whether it be a negative or demonic presence, has been addressed. The house itself may need to be cleansed or spiritually protected, and the individuals affected may need to seek spiritual or religious intervention to restore balance and harmony. This can include practices such as prayer, meditation, or a formal exorcism if necessary. By confronting the source of the negative energy, the household can begin to heal, and the individuals involved can regain control over their behavior and emotions. In conclusion, one of the most alarming signs that demonic or supernatural forces may be at work in a home is the sudden and unexplainable shift in the behavior of its inhabitants. Whether it manifests as anger, sadness, exhaustion, or complete personality changes, the effects of these changes can be deeply distressing for those involved. When these shifts occur, it is important to pay attention to the overall energy of the home and the well-being of the individuals living there. A change in behavior is often one of the clearest signs that something beyond the ordinary is affecting the space, and it may be a signal that further investigation or spiritual intervention is needed to restore peace and balance. 5. Unexplained bad odor. One of the most unsettling signs of an unnatural presence in your home is the occurrence of foul, inexplicable smells. These odors may suddenly appear without any clear cause and often linger even after the usual methods of eliminating odors, such as cleaning, airing out the space, or using air fresheners, have been tried. If you experience a persistent, unpleasant smell that seems to have no logical explanation, it could very well be a sign of something much more sinister than simple bad hygiene or plumbing issues. In many cases, these unexplained odors are associated with spiritual disturbances, and some believe they are a direct indication that negative or demonic entities are present in the space. These strange smells may not only appear unexpectedly, but can also be very specific in nature. Some people report the sudden onset of a strong, rotten scent, like that of decaying flesh or something putrid. Others describe smells like sulfur, often compared to the scent of rotten eggs. This particular odor is frequently cited in association with the presence of demonic forces, as it is believed that sulfur is one of the substances connected to evil or hellish presences. There are also reports of smells that resemble burning, like the scent of smoke or charred materials, which many interpret as a sign of spiritual interference. The smell of something burning or foul can create a sense of dread and fear, making it clear that the space is not as it seems. Sometimes, the odors are so strong that they seem to fill an entire room or house, overpowering any other smells. This can be especially unnerving when the source of the smell cannot be traced. Even if the house has been cleaned thoroughly or the air is completely fresh, the smell persists, sometimes even intensifying. The strange part about these odors is that they do not have a clear origin, and no matter how much you search for the source, it seems to be elusive. It can seem as if the smell is coming from nowhere, or at times from a specific room or corner where nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. For many, the appearance of these smells is accompanied by a feeling of unease or discomfort. The mind may begin to connect the strange smells with feelings of fear, anxiety, or paranoia, especially if they are persistent. It's not just the physical presence of the smell that bothers people, but the psychological effects that come with it. It's as if something is wrong, and the environment itself seems to be contaminated or polluted in some way. This can be emotionally draining, leading to confusion and a sense of powerlessness. In some cases, people living in a space where these smells are prevalent have described an overwhelming sense of being watched or followed. The foul odor serves as an unspoken warning, a sign that something negative is in the area, unseen but undeniably present. The smell can serve to draw attention to the dark or malevolent force that may be lurking, its presence known only through these unexplained scents. For those sensitive to the spiritual realm, these smells may serve as a clear and unmistakable indication that something demonic or malevolent is attempting to make itself known. What makes this even more disturbing is that the phenomenon is not just isolated to one or two occurrences. There are instances where the smells reappear, sometimes growing more intense over time. This is not merely a one-off event, but a repetitive occurrence that can't be dismissed as an isolated incident. The persistence of these foul odors can affect the mental and emotional well-being of those who live in the home. Over time, it can cause feelings of fear and discomfort, making it difficult to relax or feel at peace in the space. Even when these smells don't seem to have a clear origin, there are those who believe that they are tied to certain locations within the home. Some rooms or corners of a house seem to attract these negative energies more than others. For example, an attic, basement, or a secluded room might experience stronger or more frequent occurrences of these smells. This could suggest that negative forces are particularly focused on certain areas of the home. Whether or not these areas have a specific historical or emotional significance to the house or its inhabitants is often unclear, but the presence of foul smells in particular spaces can indicate a place where dark energies are concentrated. Many cultures and spiritual traditions believe that certain smells are linked to the presence of spirits or demons. These odors are thought to be part of a larger supernatural phenomenon, with the scent serving as a signal from the other side. For example, in some beliefs, the smell of sulfur is directly connected to the presence of demonic entities, which are believed to emit this odor as part of their manifestation. Likewise, the scent of decay or burning can be associated with negative spiritual forces, as these smells symbolize the presence of death, destruction, and evil. People who experience unexplained smells in their homes often find that the presence of these odors goes hand in hand with other unsettling events. This may include strange noises, feelings of coldness, or the appearance of shadows. Taken together, these signs can form a pattern that suggests the home is under the influence of something dark or malevolent. In some cases, individuals may even feel a tangible weight in the air or a sense of oppression in their space, as if the atmosphere is thick with negative energy. As unpleasant as these smells may be, they can sometimes serve as a call to action. If you or your loved ones are experiencing a persistent, unexplained odor, it may be time to take steps to cleanse your home. Spiritual practices such as prayer, the burning of incense, or the use of protective rituals are often recommended for those looking to remove negative energy or spiritual entities from their space. In extreme cases, individuals may seek out professional help from spiritual leaders or practitioners who specialize in exorcisms or energy cleansing. Understanding the meaning behind these inexplicable smells is key to protecting your home and the people within it. The physical world and the spiritual world are often more connected than we realize, and sometimes the signs of a negative force can be felt through something as simple as an odor. If you are experiencing foul smells without an obvious cause, it may be time to take a closer look at the spiritual environment in your home. Pay attention to the patterns, the intensity, and the location of these odors, as they may be the key to understanding what is truly happening. By remaining alert and taking the appropriate steps to address the issue, you can reclaim peace in your home and protect yourself and your loved ones from negative influences. 6. Lack of peace or rest in the home. One of the most unsettling signs that something may be wrong in your home is the absence of peace and rest. A home should be a place where you feel safe, relaxed, and comfortable. Yet when negative forces or dark presences enter the space, it can feel as if a constant weight is pressing down on everyone who lives there. This lack of peace is often an intangible feeling, something you can't quite put your finger on, but is felt deeply. A kind of unease that permeates every room and interaction. It is as if the very atmosphere has become heavy, and no matter how much you try to restore normalcy, something always feels off. This feeling can manifest in a variety of ways, from constant arguments to a sense of dread that no one can explain. Sometimes it can even cause physical symptoms, such as insomnia, fatigue, or an inability to relax. When there is a lack of peace in your home, it often extends beyond minor stress or temporary discomfort. It's a persistent feeling, one that lingers for days, weeks, or even months, and can affect everyone in the household, regardless of age or temperament. There are no apparent external reasons for this unrest. The usual sources of tension, financial problems, relationship issues, or other life stresses, are either absent or under control. Yet the house feels suffocating, as if an invisible force is causing internal strife. In some cases, this lack of peace can lead to arguments and conflict that seem to arise for no clear reason. Small disagreements escalate quickly, and before long, the household atmosphere is filled with anger, frustration, or even despair. It's as if a negative energy is sowing discord among the inhabitants, creating a hostile environment where no one can find calm. This sudden shift in energy can cause families to feel distant or even alienated from one another, making it difficult for people to come together and restore harmony. The absence of peace in the home can also manifest as a feeling of constant restlessness. No matter how much sleep you get, you never feel fully rested. People may feel an overwhelming sense of unease or a sense that something is lurking, just out of sight. This restlessness can prevent you from feeling grounded, causing you to lose focus and feel out of touch with your environment. Even when you try to relax, your mind keeps racing, unable to calm down. Sleep becomes elusive, and the quiet moments that once brought you peace are now filled with tension and unease. Another manifestation of a lack of peace in the home is a constant sense of fear or dread. While it may not always be linked to specific threats or dangers, the feeling that something bad is about to happen can be overwhelming. This feeling is often described as a gut instinct or an intuitive sense that something is wrong, even if there is no immediate reason to feel that way. People who experience this sensation often report feeling like they are being watched or followed, even when they are alone. The presence of this unseen force can make it impossible to shake the feeling of vulnerability, leaving you on edge and unable to fully relax. In some cases, the lack of peace in the home can be linked to a general sense of negativity that pervades the space. You may notice that people who enter your home often seem agitated or uncomfortable, even if they have no apparent reason for feeling that way. It's as if the energy in the house is contagious, spreading discomfort to anyone who comes into contact with it. This negative energy may also extend to your pets, who may begin to act nervously or refuse to enter certain rooms. Many people believe that a lack of peace in the home can be a sign of negative or demonic forces at work. According to spiritual beliefs, dark entities can feed off of negative emotions and create an environment of tension, fear, and anxiety. This can result in a home that feels haunted or cursed, where no one can find rest or solace. Some spiritual traditions suggest that these entities can create feelings of unrest in order to disrupt the harmony of a household and cause distress. From a psychological perspective, the lack of peace in the home can also be attributed to unresolved emotional issues. When families are dealing with repressed feelings, traumas, or unresolved conflicts, the energy within the home can become charged with tension. This can create an environment where peace is hard to come by, and people are left feeling constantly on edge. However, even in these cases, the persistent nature of the unrest and its impact on everyone in the household may suggest that something deeper is at play. Regardless of whether you attribute the lack of peace to supernatural forces or psychological factors, it is clear that the presence of this energy can have a profound effect on the overall well-being of the household. Relationships begin to suffer, mental health declines, and the overall atmosphere of the home becomes tense and uninviting. This lack of peace can create a cycle of negativity, where each day feels harder than the last, and no one can find relief from the stress. If you are experiencing a lack of peace in your home, there are steps you can take to restore harmony. First, it's important to acknowledge the problem and recognize that it is having a negative impact on your life. Denial, or ignoring the issue, will only allow it to fester and grow. Next, consider whether there are unresolved emotional issues or conflicts that need to be addressed. Sometimes open communication and addressing the root causes of tension can help to restore peace. It may also be helpful to bring in outside help, such as a therapist, counselor, or spiritual leader to assist in resolving any underlying issues. If you suspect that the lack of peace is linked to spiritual forces, there are a variety of rituals or practices that can help cleanse your home and restore a sense of calm. Some people use sage or incense to purify the space, while others may turn to prayer, blessings, or spiritual cleansing rituals. Many believe that inviting positive energy into your home can help dispel the negative energy that may be causing the unrest. Ultimately, the absence of peace or rest in your home is not something that should be ignored. It is a sign that something is wrong, and whether the cause is psychological or spiritual, it is important to take action to restore balance. A peaceful home is essential for the health and well-being of everyone who lives there, and no one should have to endure a constant sense of unrest or discomfort. By addressing the issue head-on and seeking the appropriate solutions, you can begin the process of bringing peace back into your home. 7. Possession of objects or unexplained phenomena. In many instances, strange and unexplainable occurrences in the home can be attributed to the mysterious possession of objects. These phenomena often manifest in ways that defy logical explanation, causing both confusion and concern among the inhabitants of the house. From objects seemingly moving on their own to items disappearing and reappearing in places they shouldn't be, the presence of unexplained activity can cause an eerie feeling in those who witness it. When these events occur, the atmosphere in the home often becomes tense, as those who experience them can feel as though something beyond the physical world is interacting with their space. One of the most common signs of such phenomena is the movement of objects without any apparent cause. Everyday items, such as books, chairs, or even smaller objects like keys, may be found in locations where they were not originally placed. Sometimes these objects appear to shift in subtle ways, and other times they may be seen moving outright, either slowly or with more dramatic force. These occurrences can be witnessed by one person or multiple people at once, but regardless of the specifics, the result is the same: an overwhelming sense of confusion and fear. The inability to explain why the object has moved or where it has gone creates a sense of vulnerability, as it challenges the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms. In some instances, objects may not just move, but become inexplicably damaged or altered. Items that were once in perfect condition may suddenly appear broken, scratched, or torn without any obvious cause. This is often accompanied by a strange sense of heaviness or negativity surrounding the object. For example, a treasured family heirloom might suddenly crack or warp, and the once meaningful connection to the object may be lost in an instant. This can cause distress, as people are left wondering why something so cherished has been affected in such a way. The object's sudden deterioration can serve as a disturbing sign that there is a force beyond normal human control at play. In addition to movement and damage, the possession of objects may also involve the phenomenon of items disappearing only to later reappear in unexpected places. Many people who experience this phenomenon describe it as if their belongings were vanishing into thin air, only to be found days later in places that make no sense. A set of keys that was placed on a countertop may be found several rooms away, or a wallet that was left on a dresser may reappear on the kitchen table. This type of phenomenon creates feelings of unease and frustration, as those involved feel that their personal belongings are being manipulated or tampered with in some way. The fear that these occurrences are linked to something sinister can grow stronger over time, especially if they begin happening more frequently. The most disturbing form of object possession, however, involves the actual presence of strange or unidentifiable objects that appear without any explanation. These objects may be completely foreign to the home and its inhabitants, appearing in places where they have never been before. For example, a small figurine might be found on the mantel when no one can remember placing it there, or a small trinket, seemingly out of nowhere, may materialize on a countertop or table. These objects, sometimes strange or even unsettling in appearance, may evoke feelings of dread or unease in those who find them. In some cases, the items may seem to have no purpose or meaning at all, adding to the mystery and the overall sense of fear. The sensation of something being out of place, whether it's a misplaced object or an unidentifiable item, can have a profound psychological impact on the inhabitants of a home. The more these events occur, the greater the anxiety and distress felt by the people living there. The fear of being unable to control or explain these occurrences can lead to a constant state of tension. Those affected may feel they are being watched, or that they are no longer in control of their own environment. This psychological strain can manifest in a variety of ways, including irritability, sleeplessness, and an overall sense of unease in the home. Some individuals may even report feeling as though these objects or phenomena are trying to communicate something to them. This can take the form of items being moved into specific arrangements or strange occurrences happening at certain times, such as during the night. There may also be times when an object, once moved or altered, will continue to reappear in the same spot, regardless of how many times it is moved. The repeated nature of this phenomenon can give the impression that the object is trying to convey a specific message, but the meaning behind it remains unclear. For those experiencing it, this can feel like an unsettling and constant presence, one that cannot be easily dismissed or ignored. It's important to note that while many people may attribute these types of occurrences to supernatural causes, others may look for more practical explanations. These may include misplacement of objects, changes in the physical environment, or even psychological factors such as stress or anxiety. However, even when these occurrences are explained away, the experience of unexplained phenomena often leaves a lasting impression on those who live with it. The feeling that something beyond ordinary understanding is affecting their surroundings can leave individuals on edge, unsure of how to restore peace to their homes. Regardless of whether these phenomena are attributed to supernatural forces or psychological causes, the key is in recognizing the disturbance they cause. The continued presence of strange occurrences in the home can create a sense of tension that affects the emotional and psychological well-being of the individuals who live there. It may lead to feelings of paranoia, fear, and isolation, as the home, which should be a safe and secure place, no longer feels like one. The sense of control over one's environment is lost, and with it comes a growing sense of unease that can manifest in other ways throughout the household. When these unexplained phenomena begin to occur more frequently, it's important to take steps to address the situation. Many people find that addressing the disturbance spiritually can help bring a sense of peace back to their homes. Whether through prayer, rituals, or other methods of spiritual cleansing, many individuals report feeling a shift in energy once they have confronted the issue head-on. Others may choose to seek professional help, such as counseling or therapy, to address any underlying psychological factors that could be contributing to the tension and unrest. Regardless of the approach, the most important step is recognizing that these phenomena are affecting the home and taking action to restore balance and peace. In conclusion, the possession of objects or the occurrence of unexplained phenomena within a home can have a significant impact on the well-being of those who live there. Whether these events are attributed to supernatural forces or psychological factors, they create an atmosphere of tension and discomfort. The inability to explain why objects are moving, disappearing, or appearing in strange places contributes to feelings of unease and fear. Addressing these occurrences, whether spiritually or psychologically, is crucial in restoring peace to the home and providing the inhabitants with a sense of safety and security once again. 8. Visions or nightmarish dreams. Visions or nightmarish dreams are some of the most unsettling signs that something malevolent may be present in your home. These experiences, which can range from disturbing dreams to vivid waking visions, are often deeply emotional and leave a lasting impact on those who experience them. The intensity and clarity of these dreams can be so overwhelming that they feel almost real, making it hard for the individual to distinguish between what is real and what is a product of their mind. In many cases, these dreams are not random, but seem to follow a pattern or theme that evokes fear, dread, or sorrow, making them even more troubling. The common thread that links these nightmarish visions and dreams is the overwhelming sense of terror they invoke. People who experience these disturbing dreams often report feeling a presence, whether human or otherwise, that seems to accompany them during these episodes. It is as if these dreams are not merely figments of imagination, but are rather a manifestation of something sinister and present in the environment. The presence that haunts the dream often carries a sense of malevolence, leading those who have these dreams to believe that the source of the fear is not merely psychological, but spiritual or supernatural in nature. These dreams may come with an intense feeling of being chased, attacked, or trapped. The dreamer might find themselves in a scenario where they are unable to escape from an unknown but dangerous force, and they may wake up in a state of anxiety or terror, sometimes even feeling as though the danger was real. This sensation of helplessness in the face of an unseen enemy is one of the hallmarks of dreams that indicate a more ominous presence. Often these dreams can be so vivid and real that it takes time for the individual to calm down and reassure themselves that they are safe in their bed, not in the nightmarish world their mind created. In some cases, individuals report having recurring dreams of the same nature or of similar themes. These recurring nightmares may feature the same figures, settings, or scenarios that feel like an ongoing narrative. The repetition of these dreams can make the dreamer feel as though they are trapped in a cycle, as though something is trying to communicate with them, or, worse, torment them. This type of consistent haunting imagery is often linked to the presence of negative energies or spirits within a space. The presence of such recurring visions can lead to a profound sense of unease, as if something is trying to reach out to the person through their subconscious mind, communicating a warning or a threat. Visions that occur while awake can be equally disturbing. These visions are typically described as flashes of images or brief moments where reality seems to bend, and the person sees something that isn't actually there. The vividness of these hallucinations or visions can make them seem real, and they often occur in the same location where unsettling dreams take place. People who experience these visions may feel as though they are being watched or followed, or they might see figures or shapes that do not belong in their home. These disturbing manifestations can create a sense of paranoia and fear, as the person may not know if what they are experiencing is real or a result of something supernatural. One of the most chilling aspects of these visions and nightmares is the emotional weight they carry. Often these dreams or waking visions will evoke a deep sense of dread or despair that lingers long after the experience has ended. The feelings of fear and hopelessness can be so intense that they affect the person's emotional state during the day, making it difficult for them to focus or feel at ease. The emotional toll of these experiences can lead to anxiety, insomnia, and a heightened state of fear, as the person becomes increasingly afraid that they might experience these visions again. In some cases, these visions or dreams may even seem to predict something bad happening, creating a sense of foreboding or impending doom. Some individuals report dreams where they see loved ones in danger or themselves in perilous situations. These types of dreams leave people feeling vulnerable, as if the dream holds some sort of prophetic warning. Whether or not these dreams are prophetic, the emotional impact they have is very real, leading the dreamer to feel anxious and fearful in their waking life. They may feel as though they are constantly on edge, waiting for the worst to happen. If you find that you are experiencing these signs, it may be helpful to explore spiritual or psychological avenues for support. Spiritual guidance, prayer, or seeking the help of a trusted spiritual advisor or therapist can provide clarity and comfort during these unsettling times. While it may seem easier to ignore or dismiss these experiences, doing so can allow the fear to grow, making it harder to regain control over your surroundings and your peace of mind. Acknowledging the problem is the first step toward resolution, whether it's clearing out negative energy, confronting emotional wounds, or protecting yourself from harmful forces. It is also essential to remember that no one is truly alone in facing such challenges. Many individuals throughout history and even today have faced similar experiences, and there are numerous resources available to help you understand and deal with them. Whether through counseling, spiritual cleansing practices, or simply reaching out to others who have gone through similar situations, there is a support system available to help guide you through these troubling times. While the presence of strange occurrences or unexplained phenomena in your home may be disturbing, it is not something you have to face in isolation or fear. By taking action, whether through seeking professional help, utilizing spiritual practices, or cultivating an environment of peace and positive energy, you can restore balance to your home and protect yourself from any harmful influences. It's important to stay grounded in faith, resilience, and the understanding that no challenge is insurmountable when you are equipped with the right knowledge and support. With the right tools and mindset, you can reclaim your space, protect your peace, and find freedom from any disturbances that may be present.